Welcome back to Business Accounting, and in this lesson we will look at inventory levels. Now, first of all, we need to understand why the management of inventory levels are important, and we mainly have two reasons. We don't want to run out of stock, and we don't want to overstock. If we overstock, we will increase our expenses or our cost to keep the stock. And if we understock, we won't be able to meet our customers' demands and we will run out of business. Now we will look at the reorder level, at what is meant with safety inventory, what is meant by maximum inventory, by normal inventory, and minimum inventory. And with most of these, there will be certain formulas to calculate those, and we will then do those calculations. If we look at reorder level, we are saying that is the point or the stage where a business order new inventory or stock from the external supplier. Now, businesses normally has a predetermined point or stage when to order inventory. They will know this by looking at the statistics, maybe from previous periods. Now, the formula that we use there is the maximum usage per period, and I will say per period because sometimes it will be given to you in the form of weeks or days or months, so I will then rather refer to a period times my lead time in the same period. Alright, so if I'm talking about usage per week, then if I use this formula, I must also look at the lead time per week. The same if I'm looking at usage per day, then I must look at lead time per day. And you will remember that lead time refers to the period or the time from when you place the order up to the time when you received the order. That is then your lead time. Now, our first example, the restaurant sells 100 chocolate milk drinks per day, and it takes 4 days to receive an order. So calculate the reorder level. So let's quickly do this one. We are saying we are selling 100 per day. So our usage or demand then is 100, and our period for this example is days. So our usage is then 100 times my lead time. So how long will it take to receive this order? And we said it will take 4 days. So this is now 400 if I do this calculation. So I'm saying my reorder level is 400 units. So if I have 400 units of chocolate drinks in my store, then I need to reorder. This is what we just calculated. Now, if we look at safety inventory or buffer stock, it's also known as buffer stock, the level of additional inventory to prevent a stock out. Now, normally a business would know what is the demand, but in some cases they may be uncertain about the demand, and this is then when they would like to keep additional stock. So let's look at this example. A business estimates that it would sell 1,000 chocolate milk drinks per month, but then they are not really certain. It's only an estimate, so they can decide to keep an additional 100 chocolate drinks in stock as precaution to prevent stock outs. Then we look at maximum inventory. Now, what is meant by maximum inventory? That is the largest inventory level a business can store at the lowest possible cost. So a business must be very careful when they overstock, because that will increase their holding cost significantly. Then what is the formula to calculate maximum inventory? We will take the reorder level. You will remember we looked at the reorder level before. We will also look at the economic quantity economic order quantity level. So it's reorder level plus you add your economic order quantity less than your minimum usage or the minimum demand times the minimum lead time. You will remember what is meant by lead time. If we then look at this example, and we can just quickly look at the formula once again, reorder level plus economic order quantity less minimum usage times minimum lead time. All right, so our restaurant, our minimum chocolate drinks per day, our demand, the minimum demand is 1,000 chocolate drinks per day. Our delivery takes from 8 to 10 days. Our reorder level was calculated at 20,000 units and the economic order quantity level was calculated at 15,000 units. To do this example then, I will start by taking my reorder level, and my reorder level is given as 20,000 units. So I will write it 20,000 units plus my economic order quantity is given as 15,000 units. So there's my 15,000. All right. And then they say less in brackets. My minimum usage is 1,000 units. So less 1,000 times minimum lead time. My lead time is between 8 and 10 days, so the minimum then is 8. All right, and now I can do my calculation. So I'm saying it is 35,000 units less 1,000 times 8 equals 8,000, and that will give me then 27,000 units. So I could not stock or store more than 20,000 units of chocolate drinks. Now, what is meant by normal inventory? This is your normal stock levels where you prevent stock outs and where you don't have excessive inventory levels. Now, we looked at maximum levels. We looked at normal levels, at safety levels, and now we will consider minimum inventory. Now, what is meant by minimum? That is my lowest possible level of stock, but still prevent a stock out. Now, the formula that we will use to calculate minimum stock levels is the reorder level. We already looked at that. Less than the average usage times the average lead time. Now let's look at an example, and we are saying we sell t-shirts and the normal reorder level is 10,000 t-shirts. The normal delivery time is 6 weeks and the normal demand is 1,200 per week. So let's do this example, and our formula is saying use the reorder level. What is our reorder level? Our reorder level is given as 10,000. So let me write it there, 10,000 less. All right. And then the average usage, and they are saying the normal demand is 1,200 per week. So that is my average usage times my average lead time. And they are saying the normal delivery time is 6 weeks. So times 6. So then I would say it's 10,000 less. If I do that calculation, you will get 7,200, and then the difference between 10,000 and 7,200 is 2,800. So this is the units. This is then the minimum units that I should have in stock to prevent any stock outs. Now that we know how to calculate all the stock levels, we can do a comprehensive exercise, and we have here an economic order quantity of 12,000 kilos, a lead time of 10 to 14 days. Now you can calculate the minimum, the maximum, and the average. You have an average usage of 600 kilos per day, a minimum of 400 per day, and a maximum of 800 per day. Now, how did we get the average? We took the maximum and the minimum, and the average, the one in between, is then the average, which is 600. And now they ask us to calculate the normal reorder level, the minimum level, and the maximum reorder level. If we are doing the first one, the reorder level, we are saying we look at the maximum usage, and our maximum usage is given as 800 times the maximum lead time. Our lead time is between 10 and 14 days, so the maximum number of days to get this order will be 14 days. If you do this calculation, then you will get 11,200 units. So this is my reorder level then. So we said my reorder level is then 11,200 kilograms. All right, so now we calculate the minimum level. For that, we need the reorder level. We already calculated that. That's 11,200 kilos. Less the average usage, and the average usage was given as 600 kilos, times the average lead time. We have a 10 to 14 days, so the average there will be 12. So my average lead time is then 12. If we do this calculation, we will have 11,200 less than 600 times 12 equals 7,200, and that will give me 4,000 kilos. So 4,000 kilos is then my minimum ordering level. So when I have 4,000 kilos in stock, then I need to order. When I look at the maximum level, I'm saying it's the reorder level that I calculated then as 11,200 plus my economic order quantity, and that one is given as 12,000 kilos, so it's plus 12,000, less my minimum usage is given as 400 times my minimum lead time will be 10 days. All right, let's do this calculation. So I have 23,200 kilos less 400 times 10 equals 4,000. So that will give me 19,200. So 19,200 kilos or units is then the maximum inventory that I can have. So during this lesson, we looked at ordering levels. We looked at the normal reorder level. We looked at the minimum level, and we looked at the maximum level, and we also did some exercises.